Now, from the Random Studio in New York City, this is the News Update with your host, Andy's Randomness.
Now, an emergency weather alert from Andy's Randomness.
All right. Hello there. Good afternoon. It is about 40 minutes to 6 o'clock here in New York. Here's your news update for August 30th, 2018. I'm not really going to go in-depth into the weather today because pretty much this heat wave is about to end. So it's a very good sign. I don't really need to show you all the GFS or anything because that's pretty much Pine Power Allies specialty. Even he'll probably talk to you all probably later tonight or tomorrow about the rain that we are expecting here in the New York area tomorrow. I will get you right now the current conditions at Central Park. Oh, without further ado, let's get to the news update. Currently, our Central Park temperature is 87 degrees. Get rid of that. I apologize. That's better. So the current temperature at Central Park is 87 with the heat index at 92. The dew point is actually dropped at 67, so that's very good news. Once again, no current reading. The reason why I started it off with the emergency weather alert system was that, of course, we're still under a heat advisory until 8 o'clock tonight. So it looks like the heat wave is finally ending. And thank goodness, because the cruel summer has just been really rough to us. It really has. So let's just get the current conditions in Fresh Meadows, and then we'll, of course, check up on our Delmarva fans, see how we're doing in Dover, Ocean City, and Salisbury. All right, so 88 right now. So it's about 1 degree less in Central Park. 88. 93 the heat index. Dew point 67. So we could just go into it. What is the best chance of rain for tomorrow? Tomorrow looks like the best chance of rain could start, believe it or not, around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning. After that, it's going to be cloudy. Now, Saturday, here's the situation right now. Looks like the best chance is now going to happen between noon and 3 o'clock. But afterwards, here's the issue. Chance of rain, 36%. Chance. So, not going to be a washout, but the best day out of all Labor Day weekend is going to be on Monday. Looks like the kiddies, before they go back to school on Wednesday, because I found out the first day of school in the city is actually Wednesday. Looks like they're going to get their last chance of summer left. They're going to feel like it. And they'll just quickly check into next week, see how we're looking. Yeah, Tuesday is now updated. Chance of a thunderstorm after 2 o'clock. So it's a minor chance. The percentage is not that, decent, but we'll see if it goes into next week. Yeah, so we might get a little bit of relief next week. But the problem is, if the dew points stay like this, here's our issue, everyone. It's still going to feel brutal outside. If you have a humidity in the dew point near 66 to 65 degrees, it still feels humid. It can still feel like it. So we may not get out of, we may not even see a dew point below 60 until the middle or even late September if the weather keeps holding up like this. It's still possible this forecast could change. We could even see a 90-degree day next week. Impossible. Don't get fooled. It's possible. Now we'll take a look at the conditions in Ocean City, Maryland, my second home. Currently, it is 83 with the heat index of 90, dew point 73. Now we're going to take a look at Salisbury, see how they're doing. Salisbury, Maryland. Type in Maryland. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, you go inland, you notice that you notice the heat. The heat index is 101, but the dew point is more brutal here than New York. More brutal. Let's check up on my cousins in Stevensonville. Stevensonville. Here we go. See how they're doing. Yep. Dew point is 70 over there. Still humid, obviously, out there in Stevensonville. Now we'll take a look at Dover and see how they're doing. 89 with the real feel of 95. And lastly, we'll check a hot spot, Toms River, New Jersey. How they're doing this afternoon. Yep. Uncomfortable. Real feels near 100 in Toms River. So it's not great. But let me check up on somebody who I know is in Manasquan right now. Let's see how they're doing. All right, the current conditions in Manasquan is 90 degrees with the real feel of 97. So they're close to Toms River, and they are feeling the heat down there in Ocean County today. They are feeling it. So two more things I want to check. I didn't think about checking it during the heat wave. Monticello, New York. It's normally a cool spot. Let's see if they're dealing with this heat. Wow, Monticello is... This is where I want to be today. Monticello, New York. 82 with a real feel of 84 degrees. If you really want to escape from this, you really want some springtime weather coming up next couple of days, because I looked at the forecast for Monticello. At Monticello, I'm going to get some rain up there, but certainly better to be in Monticello today. That's for sure. So Monticello is comfortable today. Let me check one more spot of wishful thinking. Mount Pocono, Pennsylvania. Not coming up here. See if it comes up. Ah, Mount Pocono did come up. Yep. Mount Pocono is comfortable today. And lastly, let's check Flagstaff, Arizona. I'm just looking at the weather for fun today, because with this heat wave, it's making me think of wishful thinking. Yep. Flagstaff, dew point at 38, low humidity. It's gorgeous weather in Flagstaff. Wow, look at this. Flagstaff, this is where I want to be next week. 71, 72, 74, 75, 74. And not to mention you get all the pine barrens out there. They actually have some pine barrens, according to somebody we all love and know here on YouTube. So yes, I am fascinated with the whole Flagstaff topic. So next up, we're going to get to what happened with the Long Island Railroad, and I'm going to talk to you about something that I should have talked about days ago, which I want to give my reaction to it regarding this heat wave. So let's first get to our issues on the Long Island Railroad. So last night, I'll zoom in if you want to see. If you're on a phone, you can see this better. That's better. So last night we had a problem. We had two problems on the railroad. The first problem last night before 10:30 was we had third rail power problems between Penn and Jamaica. So they had to temporarily suspend service, and then right before 11 o'clock, service was resumed with delays on all of the branches. Because of this, New York City Transit had to cross-honor fares on the E, J, and C subways, the E train at Kew Gardens and Forest Hills, and the 2 and the 3 trains between Atlantic Terminal and Penn Station. So pretty much it was chaos last night with this. And then we had a fatality on the Babylon Branch last night. Somebody got struck and killed by a train. And yep, it was an unauthorized person. So we're going to read about this. Here's what happened. The 35-year-old victim, we don't know who it was, but They confirmed that the MTA police confirmed it was a 35-year-old victim was hit at the station at 10:15 last night, according to Aaron Donovan, a spokesman. Service was restored after midnight. And then, of course, the best for the South Shore, their service got resumed. We're not going to get into that much. All right, next up, we're going to get to North Shore residents talking about a Long Island Railroad service amid the East Side Access Project. All right, so we'll talk about this, about the Oyster Bay branch. I want to know if they mentioned, why was Locust Valley left out of this? I have a friend who lives out there, and if he's seeing this video, he knows who he is. He should be disappointed that Locust Valley was not mentioned about this. And I feel bad that he lives literally near the proposed idea to have that bridge between Westchester and, what is it? Syosset. That's the bridge I'm thinking of, to get into Westchester easier. You know, it's not fair, but Cuomo doesn't want to push the agenda. Let's read this quickly. Exactly, I agree. I'm just not going to read into it that much. Exactly. You know, I've been saying this for a while. I've been wondering, why can't we have service at Grand Central? You know, lately I've been seeing myself hang out on the east side of Manhattan. And I'm going to admit, you know, even if I go to Two Bros on West 45th, it's much closer to walk to Grand Central from there than just worrying about, you know, dealing with not having the accessibility. Because Grand Central is a whole lot closer to there than going on my way to Penn. I agree. And it really adds up. You know, it's just not fair. Yeah, they're complaining about their ferry service in Glen Cove. And another thing, you know, it really gets inconvenient if you want to take Metro North. It can really be a pain in the neck. And who knows, maybe one day in the future, I wouldn't mind doing Metro North videos once East Side Access. I mean, that's way in the future, but, you know. Exactly. People go to Manhasset or Hicksville to avoid the Oyster Bay branch. That's just an opinion article. I just wanted to quickly read it. All right, so let's talk about Brentwood. Their Long Island Railroad station is finally getting full renovations. Changes are due to arrive at both the current and former Brentwood Long Island Railroad station. The 31-year-old station building has been gutted for an extensive renovation, while the century-old former station, after years of being so vacant, is being converted into a restaurant. The present Brentwood station will be upgraded with new bathrooms, new flooring, free Wi-Fi, and charging stations for customers. This is a video block, but they're showing the completion of the third track project. Let's continue reading this. Down the block on First Avenue, the former station has boarded up and surrounded by overgrown vegetation will be also gutted and rehabilitated. Long Island Community Affairs Manager Vanessa Laco said out of the old station building at an August 21st board meeting, "For many of you, the concern is that there are some homelessness issues, some loitering concerns. Are we going to update and fix it? Yes, we are." The former station was built around 1905 and operated until 1987. Under the current station was built for an electrified train line. The empty old building, an eyesore for years, which was converted into the island's first solar power cafe that operated for 3 years between 2006 and 2009. The solar cafe closed after the owners Christopher and Wendy Castro pleaded guilty back in March of 2008 to charges related to fraudulently using criminal defendants in community service programs for free labor on 3 ventures, including the cafe, according to court and company records and prosecutor statements at the time from Suffolk County. It has been vacant since December of 2009. Okay. Ellen Eldenstein, president of the Brentwood Historical Society, said, "What does it say when anybody sees something blighted right in the center of town? It gives a wrong impression." The new tenant is Shahid Harun of Brentwood Foods. The company is listed as a grocery store in records. Construction on the restaurant is expected to start in the fall and October, pending an insurance review. That's very good news that they are trying to fix Brentwood, but it's about time Brentwood got some renovations. But I don't know if it's going to be inferior. What if the same thing happened in Hicksville when that station looked? Hicksville still looks inferior. No, they're not going to get brickwork. They won't. It's all lies. We're not going to get into the whole Lisa Pika thing, but last story for today. This goes back from Tuesday. If you haven't heard by now, a 11-year-old girl from Quorum died in a car. A very sad story to talk about. I figured I wanted to read what Newsday said about it. An 11-year-old girl was found in her Quorum family's SUV, died back on Tuesday, August 28th, despite her mother's efforts to revive her in what appears to be a heat-related tragedy, Suffolk County Police said. The mother and her 3 daughters had returned home from errands when at some point she realized one of the girls was missing from their Kathleen Crescent house. It looks like a housing project. Okay. Detective Kevin Breyer said the mother and her 2 other children were running errands doing day-to-day things. They went into the house and at some point they realized the 11-year-old was still in the car. The police so far, as of today, August 30th, have not released the girl's name. Rushing to the Ford Expedition, the mother saw her daughter in the middle seat, her lips already blue. She told 911 at 3:45 p.m. And after carrying her inside the house, the woman followed life-saving instructions from 6 precinct officers and EMT, police said. But her efforts were futile. The girl was pronounced dead as she was taken to Stony Brook University Hospital. And unfortunately, I'm going to say this, I actually do know somebody who works at that hospital, and all of the staff, when they found out about this, was just devastated to even hear the story, including the person who I know works at the hospital, and awful story to hear, of course. The death is, of course, heat related. As I said, we were in the middle of a heat wave, of course. No charges have been filed. Of course, this probably was an accident, most likely. Because remember, folks, even though it can be like 70 degrees, it could still feel like 90 if you have the windows rolled up. So remember to look behind you when you leave your children in the car. Just remember that. Exactly. I think somebody was mentioning that she had special needs, so obviously sad story to read into, but I wanted to just see what Newsday was saying about it. So we come back to me now. We'll just confirm any new updates, anything in the world going on. Drudge right now. We'll see if they're reporting anything. Let's see. I don't know. I might have saw a developing story. Let me confirm this. Let's see what this says. All right. Looks like we may have a developing story. Let me just confirm this. This is a possible story about Colin Kaepernick. Let me just confirm this and clear up the tabs so that way I don't get confused here. Just confirming the source. Okay, yes, this is a confirmed source. So looks like we just got developing news. All right, developing now at this hour. An arbitrator sends Colin Kaepernick's grievance against the NFL to trial. So once again, we have developing news. An arbitrator has sent a grievance to Colin Kaepernick's behalf against the NFL to a trial. So we're going to read this right now to wrap up this video. Let's get the screen share back. Here we go. An arbitrator is sending Colin Kaepernick's grievance with the NFL to trial, denying the league's request to throw out the quarterback's claims that owners conspired to keep him out of the league because of his protest of social injustice. Kaepernick's lawyer, Mark Rugano, tweeted a picture Thursday of a ruling by arbitrator Stephen Burbank. The former 49 quarterback argues that the owners have colluded to keep him off any NFL roster since he hit free agency last year. So pretty much there is a ruling. Pretty much now, looks like Colin Kaepernick's going to court. Kaepernick contends the owners violated union rules by conspiring to keep him off terms. Yeah, and there's a lot of hate. But if he's taking this to court, looks like it's possible that we could hear more news about Colin Kaepernick eventually. But this is the developing story. Once again, if you're just tuning in, an arbitrator has sent a grievance on behalf of Colin Kaepernick to take the NFL to court now, to trial. So this is developing news that just came in from the Associated Press. So other than that, I just checked Drudge. Let's see if anything's going on here in New York. Nothing's going on. I will wrap up this update. Let's see. Oh, folks, I think we got some breaking news about the B-15. Hang on. Let me confirm this. Let's see if this is correct. Oh boy. Yep, this just came in. This is a confirmed source. We got breaking news about the B-15 right now. All right. WABC TV has confirmed that another B-15 bus driver in Brooklyn has been assaulted. Once again, WABC TV has confirmed that a rock was thrown intentionally to an MTA bus driver operating the B-15 route in Brooklyn. This is the fourth attack in the same line in a week. So this just came in. I wanted to check my ABC station here in New York. I may have to watch Channel 7 in about 15 minutes to see if they're going to do a live report. But this is just breaking. So let's read this right now. All right, so here's what we know right now. We're going to read the article. Police are investigating another attack on a bus in Brooklyn following 3 other previous attacks on drivers on the same line in the past week. According to police, just before 1 o'clock earlier this afternoon, a man threw a rock at a B-15 bus along its route on New Lots Avenue and Williams Avenue in East New York, shattering a window. The driver and passengers on board were not injured. Police described the suspect as a man in his 20s wearing khaki pants and a multicolored shirt. So once again, this is just breaking. We have just learned from WABC that a rock was thrown at a B-15 bus earlier this afternoon at 1 p.m. Once again, this took place in East New York on Newlots Avenue and Williams Avenue in East New York. We don't know if this is the same suspect. Yesterday, the police released new photos of a suspect. He is a black male. He's believed to be in his 20s, according to authorities from the precinct in Brooklyn. He is still on the loose. That suspect, again, is facing charges of felony assault on a bus driver, which could result in a 5-year prison term and or a fine of $250,000. Most likely, they're going to throw out the fine and just put him in jail. But if this is true and this is the same suspect, he could be facing reckless endangerment charges as well. Because apparently, if you throw something at the bus, that's what the rap sheet could also say. All right, so we're going to end. And there's no other news to report at the moment. Let's confirm. Yeah, nothing at the moment. Yeah, so nothing breaking right now in New York. That's the only breaking story I can come up with right now. So, yeah, we're going to wrap this stream up. If you didn't watch live, that's okay. If you are watching on the replay, that means the world to me. So if you always show up for these, that really means a lot. So I'm going to wrap it up. This has been the news update for August 30th. Thank you very much for watching. Until the next video, please take care.